and welcome to Sellers and Makers Podcast, a place artisans can come together in community. Brought to you by Everything Embroidery Market. I am your host, Hope Dale, and
I'm Christina, and today we are so excited to be talking with Miss Barbara and Courtney with allbrands.com. They have a whole bunch of fun things to share with us today. And so I'm going to turn it over to them really quick. They're going to introduce themselves and then tell us a little bit about All Brands and the history there, because there's quite a bit. So Barbara, if you want to start.
Well, thank you, Christina, and thank you, Hope, for having us on the show. We're so happy to be here. We love Everything Embroidery Market. We participate every year. We're just really stoked. And so thank you for having us on the show. And yeah, so we're a family-owned business. Courtney and I are actually family. So yeah, my parents, actually my mother started the business in 1976. She was a home economics major from LSU. And my father has an MBA from the University of Washington in St. Louis, Missouri. And so he's the business-minded one and she's the creative, sewing, crafty one. And so I think they just... He tried to help her get started in the business and he loved it so much that he just stayed, and they had 4 kids. So I have an older brother and an older sister who are off doing
amazing, wonderful things.
Singing and acting and just living fun lives. But my twin brother and I, John, are in the family business and we're having a lot of fun too. And so Courtney is actually my sister-in-law. She married my twin brother, John F. Douthit, who is kind of a genius, huh?
He is very much a genius, but I might be a little bit biased. It's nice that I'm still trying to figure out which one of them is the evil twin and which one's the good one.
None.
I think I haven't figured out, but it's definitely, it's a lot of fun working with your family. I think a lot of people are pretty hesitant about that, but it's nice to look over and know that someone cares just as much about this business as you do, and they're giving their 110% and you're giving your 110%. And it's not just a business, it's a home for us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy to have you too, Courtney.
Yes, I can feel that on so many levels, because our business is also a family business. And then you have that trust with your employees. You want, at least that's how we try and run things, is our employees are an extension of our family, but you have that trust, and to be able to work with people you trust and care deeply about, it just is very fulfilling. So I love that about your business. I think it's unique in today's world a little bit, you know? So tell us a little bit about what each of your roles are in the business, in All Brands.
Okay.
Many hats. A lot of hats in a family-owned business, but
we kind of take it personally.
A little bit.
Like, seriously, it's personal.
Oh, yeah.
It's family.
We're at Thanksgiving, we're like, but did you hear about this? What are we going to do about this? And Miss Annette has to round us back out, and Mom would be like, guys, it's Thanksgiving. We can talk about work later. But then we'll get back there usually.
It's fun, though.
Oh, yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah. It's a good time.
So my twin brother, John F., is actually who started us on the internet in 1996. So he's the evil genius.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
No, I think he's not evil. He's really great.
He was 12 years old at the time, and he had heard about this thing called the internet. And back then, people really weren't doing anything on it. It was just kind of this weird void, black void. And he went up to his dad, and he was like, "Dad, we should get on the internet." And his dad's like, "What's the internet? What is that?" So he kind of helped him, figure out what that was. And we were the first sewing and embroidery business on the internet.
When there was dial-up. Wow.
Yeah.
Remember that sound?
So I love that you guys are pioneers of the industry being on the internet. And then still today, I think you guys have done a really good job evolving and staying relevant and at the forefront. And so you guys, our listeners here, you didn't hear a little speech beforehand where we were talking to them about how we're going to do the podcast, but they're like, "Yep, we've done this. We've got it. Check. Let's go." I love that so much. So
We really had to change during the pandemic. I remember the first week that we went home and I was sitting at my house working, which was a huge change for, my everyday life. And I was thinking, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I have this cell phone, and I had a selfie stick left over from our last boat show. So I turned on all the lights, and I just started doing videos from my sewing room. And then it evolved into, we have a show now called the All Brand Show. Courtney's going to be on it on Thursday.
Goodness help them.
And yeah, it's really, I'm so excited, and I'm so excited that everything embroidery has evolved as well.
Yeah, so I think
great.
that people are looking for that, right? And especially when everyone was at home, they were like, I still want that connection with people, and I still want to be around people that have a like mind with me. I still want to learn. I still want to grow. And so that has been something that has been fun to watch grow. Now, I love that you have your show. Tell me a little bit about that. What do you guys talk about? What do you do?
Oh my gosh, we've done a little bit of everything. I try to mix in education. We've mixed in some philanthropy work in there with Sewing Machine Project, just interviewing different manufacturers in the business.
Well, we're in a crafting field. We're in a creative field. And I think a lot of times we forget that on the business side of it. But it's nice to connect with customers. You know, we usually would see them at shows and sometimes in retail, but to really get a connection with them at home and to share that excitement and share that creativity and kind of have a show and tell of, look, this is what I've made. What have you made? You know, send us what you've made. And we get that instant feedback of what they want to see and what they like. And it felt like we know them a lot more now from having that outlet.
Yeah, no, because you guys tell us about, so you have that online, and then you have storefronts, right? Yes.
We have 6 stores in Louisiana and Texas, and then our online website, allbrands.com.
Okay, awesome. So as far as what is sold in your store, do you guys have any favorites that you want to talk about? Share with our listeners what you guys like to sell, like to see, like to play with.
Well, our name is allbrands.com. So that's a toughie.
They always tease me because my favorite is Brother Scan and Cut. That's kind of my baby. I always laugh when they first got one in the store. They were like, Courtney, there's this thing called the Scan and Cut. And I'm like, that's awesome. What is that? They're like, well, it's a cutter. It does this. It's a drawer. And so I ran down to the retail store and I was like, I'm going to test this out. And back then there wasn't an auto blade. And if anyone's a Scan and Cut person, they know what an auto blade is. It automatically knows how deep to cut. And back then we didn't have those. So I was like, I'm going to write my name. So I typed out my name and had it write it. And I cut right through the mat. Which you're not supposed to do. And I couldn't blame it on anyone else because I'm the only one named Courtney. So every time I have a class or something, I tell them, I'm like, don't worry. I've done the worst of the worst. You can go through it. It's not scary. But we actually have a Scan and Cut here. So we can show you a little demo on it if you like.
Yeah, please do. Show us some of your favorite features. I'd love to see it. And then maybe if you want to share some of your customers as they're looking to buy, maybe what they like or differences from this and maybe some other machines that are out there so they can make an informed decision.
All right, so this is the Brother Scan and Cut. This one is an XDS 225. There are other models, of course. The great thing about it is, you see, I'll have a few different little demo items. I didn't have to make anything to demo because this is stuff I pulled from around my house. For this year's Christmas wrapping, I don't like tags. So I wrote my son's name I typed it out and had the machine cut it out of vinyl. And I just went ahead and put it on some ribbon. Let's see, this is another one. I also decided I didn't like my son's tree skirt. So it was red and plain. So I took vinyl and put a D for Dowdit, and then 2 reindeer that were already built into the machine. That's the great thing. There's so much already in the machine that you can do, but you can't actually bring other stuff in. I think for a stocking, I decided for every single one of my son's classmates, I'm going to do a stocking with their name on it. And my husband's like, this is going to take forever. I'm like, no, it really isn't bad. This took me less than 5 minutes from start to finish to do it. There's only 10 kids in his class, so that won't be too bad. Okay, so let's go ahead.
So for people that are listening or watching, what sort of vinyl do you use? And do you have any suggestions on where to buy that vinyl?
Well, allbrands.com. But I always tell people there's types of vinyl. You've got adhesive vinyl, so HTV, and you've got heat pressure sensitive vinyl, PSV. So it depends on what you're going to use it on. If you're going to do something like this fabric tree skirt, you're going to want heat. So think, can I put heat on this? Is it okay for me to put an iron on this? If it's not a plastic that's going to melt, then go for heat. But if it's something that could possibly melt, pressure vinyl, like your wall, if you're going to put a decal on it, you're going to want pressure sensitive vinyl.
You don't want to iron the wall?
Well, I mean, you could, but don't tell anyone. I would do
Don't
that.
tell anyone. It wasn't recommended by you, right?
It was not. No, I don't know who told us to do that. It was not Courtney. All right, she might have wrote her name in it and cut it through, but she didn't tell you to do that.
I feel like that would be like we could have our own vinyl nailed it and
Yeah,
you know.
right. Yes. Worked out wonderfully. Well, that's, I think a lot of customers tell me is they were scared to open the box for the ScanNCut. It was intimidating. Any new craft is a little intimidating at first. And I always tell them, like, open it, try it. What's the worst that can happen? A lot of times, well, Brother always puts a first project in there. So that way, when you're setting up your machine, there's a step-by-step guide of how to do a project. So when you're done setting up and kind of looking at it, you finished your first project. You have that accomplishment. You get that, endorphin boost. So I always tell people it's not scared. You're only limited by your creativity and Pinterest.
Yeah.
You really can't do anything at all. And that's the great thing is when I'm looking at my son's tree skirt and I'm like, it needs something. Well, I'm going to go embellish it. And it's going to take me 2 seconds to do that. And the great thing with ScanNCut that sets it apart from Cricuts and Silhouettes and different machines, that's always a question I get, is the fact that you can scan any image in. You don't have to use your phone. There's nothing like that. You can go online and look up a reindeer and type in reindeer, print it out on a computer and scan it into the machine, and it automatically will change it to an SVG, which is a cut file. And you can cut it out of cork, you can cut it out of vinyl, you can cut it out of paper, you can cut it out of a few things Brother doesn't recommend, but they're really fun.
Again,
So-
you didn't recommend it. I didn't hear.
I don't know. There was some girl, she ran in. It was so weird. But that's the fun part of it. You really can get creative and, the sky's the limit, really. The machine has a lot built in. Like I said, this reindeer was built in. But if I didn't like this reindeer for some reason, no offense, reindeer, if I didn't like it for some reason, I could go online and find one, scan it into the machine, and it cost me nothing. This hobby is expensive on its own, machines and fabric and everything like that. I don't want to have to spend more money when I don't have to. I want to be able to go, okay, well, my sister called me late at night. My niece's birthday party's tomorrow, and she wants a banner with a certain crown on it. Well, the machine has crowns in there, but she doesn't like those because it makes way too much sense to like those. She wants another one. So I'm going to go look and see if I can find this crown that she likes. Send her a picture. She likes that one. I scan it into my machine. I cut it out. I make the pretty banner with my niece's name, which is Angela Grace, because again, why name her anything short, especially if you're going to do a banner? And I'll cut it out on here, and it costs me nothing. It costs me nothing additionally. I don't have to buy a design. It is fun to buy a design. You can put a design in because it does have a USB port, or it is wireless, so you can just send it straight to the machine and it can read it. But it's nice to not have to do that and kind of customize it and make it unique to you. So that's why I like this machine. I can make so many things that weren't a thing at first. So like I said, she's got so much built in. She has quilt patterns, fonts, and designs. And I always tell people when you get the machine, open it up, look at the different things, know what's in your arsenal that you have to use, and then know that you can add in anything you want, literally anything you want.
So one of the things that I have not messed with, but you can use it with embroidery too, right? For applique.
Yes, that is something that everyone likes. I feel like it's my party trick a lot of times. I'll take a USB that has a design on it, so a PES for Brother. I'll take that and I'll put it directly into a machine. I don't do anything special with it. I don't put it in any kind of software. I put it directly into my machine. and it will recognize the applique. So if you're doing an applique, it will recognize the applique and it will cut out that applique for you. So that way you don't have to go in there with scissors. I have carpal tunnel, so I don't like using scissors if I can try to avoid it. I know a lot of our customers have the same issues where, you know, they can't use their hands for long periods of time. So being able to cut that out now lets me make a ton of appliques. So if I, for some reason, lose my mind and agreed that I will make applique shirts for every single one of my son's classmates again.
Well, sounds like you've done that before.
You know, once they find out that you're the crafty mom that has this machine, the teacher becomes your best friend, and she's your go-to lady, and she'll ask you for a lot of fun things. Like 2 years ago, I made 15 baby shark shirts or Santa baby shark shirts for my son's program at school. And every single person came up to me and they're like, "Do you sell these?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I do it for a hobby." You'll get a lot of that questions. "Do you sell this? Do you sell this?" And a lot of our customers do. And it's wonderful to see their business grow from our business and helping them expand even further and getting really excited about their accomplishments and what they've done. So, like I said, the machine has so much built in. You can, of course, scan anything in, but there is a ton on here. You go in here and there's even more basic shapes, but also fun Christmas things that I love. So you really, it's whatever holiday. So there's my little reindeer that I use for my son's tree skirt, and I can size it any kind of way that I want it to. I could add on top of it. If I decided, okay, on the belly, I want it to say my son's name, I can add that on top of it. And you can continue to add. And like I said, you're really only limited.
Do you do that right on the Scan and Cut, or do you need a software to be able to add?
Well, you can do it on the machine, which is usually my go-to, but there is a software, what they call software, that Brother has called Brother Canvas. And it's pretty much this screen, but on your laptop or on your computer, whatever device you want to use. And it's helpful for whenever I'm, let's say my machine's at home and I'm at work, you know, on a lunch break or something. Hey. And I would have an idea and I'm like, you know what, I want to create this. And it's easier for me to see it on a big screen. Not that the touch screen isn't wonderful.
And you're showing a customer at work, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Her name is Courtney. I heard she's wonderful. But it's great to be able to use it on there. You can save it. Like I said, you can send it directly to it because it is wireless, or you can put it on a USB and put it into the machine. And it's this screen, but bigger, so on your home one. And it's free. It's 100% free. That's what I've heard crazy things about customers telling me that they've had to pay for subscription services to have the basic software for their cutting machine. And I told them I couldn't relate because it's free. And Brother also gives you different projects on Canvas that you could do and, you know, get creative. Because again, we're in a creative field. So it's really great that they keep those and they save them all, you know, all year long. They don't delete them out. So if you saw one from 3-4 years ago that you liked, you can type in their Christmas and it'll pull up every single Christmas design that they have on there that are all free. But again, she's got so much built in. So I always tell people, look at all the stuff you've built in, know your arsenal, know what you have, and then go on Canvas and have fun there.
You're calling her she. Have you named her?
She, you know, I haven't. My kids, they laugh because they are so trained at home. They know that if there's a piece of vinyl, little bitty piece of vinyl, do not throw it away. If you see it on the floor, bring it to mom, because in my house, we do not waste vinyl.
Yeah.
Do not waste vinyl in this house. We keep every little piece because if you're an applicator, you know, you might need a little black circle for, you know, a snowman's eye or his buttons. You might need a little bit. And I actually keep mine in a file folder. So all those little bits, I color code them into that file folder. So if I know I need a little piece of red, I know where in the file folder it is. My big rolls, they go, you know, separately. But the little bitty pieces, I keep it all because, like I say, crafting and different hobbies, they get expensive. And the Scan and Cut can actually scan in your background on your mat. And you can put those little pieces on there and drop your image that you're wanting to cut out or draw or anything on straight on piece of material. And that way you're not wasting any, like this cork that I have. Cork is expensive. And if I had a little bitty corner left, I'm going to keep it because I could cut out a little snowman or a snowflake. I did ornaments for my friend's Christmas tree. She did a very nice rustic tree and she wanted cork ornaments. And we used a sheet that was no bigger than a 12 by 12. And we made her so many ornaments because I could scan this in and drop and drag all of the images onto that cork to use every little bit of it. Because again, it's expensive. I don't want to have to spend more than I need to.
Well, and that feature is really awesome because I also have a competitor to that, and I cannot tell
I
you
won't
how
take it to heart.
I will.
Hear that?
Yeah, hey, I understand, but I cannot tell you how many just sheets of vinyl that I've ruined or had to start over because I didn't have it exactly lined up, or my deal slipped a little bit when I was putting it in, and then say it was a circle, just that little sliver of circle got cut out because I was trying to use as much as possible and I got too close to the edge, and then that's a no-go. So here we go again. I wasted it. So I think that's a really awesome feature. So
yeah, I love it just because, like I said, every little bit gets used, everything, you know, it's my justification to my husband of why I have so many craft supplies. I'm like, no, I use it all. He's like, oh, I know. I'm like, no, all of it gets used. Don't look in that drawer. What are you doing? Don't look in that cupboard. What are you doing? That's paperwork for other stuff. That's not fabric. I don't know what you're talking
you have a Hobby Lobby in your house?
yeah. Well, it's where you get a craft build. You go into the retail store, you look on our website and allbrands.com. You go and you look and you get excited for this kind of thing. And I think they always say you'll never work a day in your life if you do something you love. I haven't worked in forever, not because I totally cracked at work, but because we love it. It's a family-owned business, so it's nice to have other people in your family that are excited about the same thing you are, and they're for the new machines. They're for what you did. It's like a show and tell all the time. I'm like, look at the quilt I made. Look at this, and don't look too close at those corners. Okay, they don't match up perfectly, but I did my best.
Yes, and they love it. And then you get to see your customers do the same, which is really awesome. So now I know you guys can or are selling those online. Do you have a good amount of stock? Do you have a ship time that y'all are expecting for anything that if people wanted to go to allbrands.com and maybe purchase a Christmas gift or something like that?
Absolutely. We currently do have stock, which is wonderful. They told me I can't have another one. I have to share, which is fine. So they will come in time for Christmas, depending on where you're at. We try to ship same day out of our warehouse, allbrands.com.
So hey, I'm back.
Hi.
So yeah, we were able to get the last of the SDX 225F and SDX 230DX machines, which we can sell online, and they're probably going to be gone pretty soon, but we're anticipating that they're going to be a lot of Christmas presents for people. So we have those. We also have the newest models that just came out that are compatible with the new Brother Luminaire. So they will send designs to the Brother XP2 Luminaire, and then the XP2 Luminaire will send the designs back to the ScanNCut, which is exciting. But there's a little difference in price there. So to get the 225F and 230D is really the steal right now as far as price point goes. And then we also have the internet models available. So we have about how many ScanNCuts, Courtney? Like,
I don't know, they don't let me near them anymore.
I think we have like 7 available ScanNCut models online now. But yeah, I think whichever one you choose, we'll be happy with.
I wanted to talk a little bit about your philanthropic ways, what you guys got going on, because I think that's something else that is unique to All Brands, and I think a lot of people would like to hear about that.
So it's actually Giving Tuesday today.
Yes, it is.
So yeah, All Brands, like I have so much respect for my parents who started this business, and I feel like they have instilled in us, the second generation, the importance of giving, and I think it's important to everyone. We have been, I think one of the coolest things that they have done is they were Underwriter of the Year for Louisiana Public Broadcasting, so that we were funding the sewing shows on, you know, on the weekends for people. And I think that that's really important thing to do. And then
Awesome.
what else is there? Quilts for
goodness.
kids.
Love quilts for kids. It's where they make quilts for children in hospitals. And I think that's another big thing that a lot of crafters need to realize, that you have talents. You have talents that people will appreciate. And those kids, when you give them a quilt and you see their happy faces, it warms your heart. And you're doing something not only for someone else, but it's good for your soul to do that kind of thing. So we love quilts for kids. We love 4-H. We're very involved in 4-H. I love when they bring a ton of the kids in to do classes with us. That it's chaos, but in the best kind of way.
And you know, they really love scan and cut. It really speaks to, you know, that generation.
I love customizing things. It's fun.
Yeah, so the 4-H program teaches them how to sew and how to merchandise and pick out the correct fabrics for ready to wear and all of that kind of thing. And it's just such a unique program that kids don't get in schools anymore. So that's why we're giving back to 4-H, because otherwise
They don't learn that skill.
we hope that it's, you know, not lost in translation, you know, because it's not taught in schools anymore, you know.
It's nice for them to bond with their parents or their grandmother, and they'll tell us a lot of times, she taught me to sew, or she taught me how to do this, and they come and learn a little bit more, and it bridges that connection. So it's very nice to see younger kids getting into it.
So my grandma actually taught me to sew. And so that is one of my whys to why we started our family business also. And so I love that. And I also think that right now, just in the world in general, there's so much noise when it comes to electronics and TV and apps and, you know, social media. There's so much noise. And sometimes it is just really good to slow down, connect, and do something with your hands, with whether it's someone older. My mom, I like to craft with my mama, and I love to craft with my kids. And to see just the smiles that come from that is so amazing. It's one of my favorite things. And I love that you guys are fostering that to continue that for generations to come. So awesome.
Yeah, I also think that anyone that participates in crafting knows how good it feels to give something to someone else is more rewarding than anything else in the world, just to make something for someone that's personalized and give it as a gift.
I know, even for fun things, like I was laughing the other night, I made earrings that looked like little Debbie cake Christmas trees. And I was like, these are so fun. And my mom came over and she was like, I love these. And I'm like, I'll give them to you and I'll make some new ones.
I think I like some too. And everyone knows listening.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so fun. But it's definitely, it's nice to give something that you've homemade. You know, I'm not much of a baker, but I can sew some stuff.
There you go. There you go. I love it. Well, if you had 3 tips that you wanted some of your customers to hear, whether it's for crafting, business, or even personal, what would those be?
I have start your projects early.
Okay.
Start them now. I don't care if it's sunny outside, start your Christmas projects because they're going to take longer. Order your supplies now. Allbrands.com is really fun. But order your things now. Get started on your projects way ahead of time. That way you know that you've got time to finish them. Because I don't know how many times I'm like, oh, you're getting married? I'm going to make you a quilt. And then it's not finished the day before and I'm rushing. So finish your projects early. Order your supplies early, especially right now with Christmas time. With all the shipping crazy delays and stuff like that, make sure you're getting out there soon.
Yeah. So start doing Valentine's Day now.
Sounds great. We have a task to do after this. It sounds.
Valentine's, Easter. Oh, it's around the corner.
Oh my gosh, I'm envisioning all the fun stuff for Easter you're going to make for the kids.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm that parent.
Okay. And things like that. Oh, so another thing, I think that really becoming knowledgeable about what's out there as far as equipment and capabilities of equipment is very important. You're limited by what your machines can do, obviously. And like if you just buy that little which is a great machine, a 4-inch by 4-inch embroidery area machine. It's a good start.
The PE 770. Everyone starts with that machine, I feel like.
And then you buy the design, and then it's 5 by 7 embroidery area. So I think it's just, there's so much available online now through EEM, through allbrands.com, the quilt show, which I watched the other day. It's a great show. Just so many different vloggers out there. Becky Thompson with Power Tools with Thread, Angela Wolf, Brother has a vlog, Bernina has one now too. And there's just so many resources out there. Visit your local dealer. Like, sit down in front of the machines and test them out and get a firsthand, I guess, testimonial from, an employee in the store. And they will be honest with you.
I think that's good, because I think sometimes people are afraid to, like, they get intimidated a little bit. And so if you get there and use it yourself, put your hands on it, see how it works, you realize I can do this too. And so that was me for Brother. I have a couple Brother machines, and I've always felt like they're just very user friendly. And so anyone can do it. I can teach myself, you can too. But like you said, there's lots of resources out there if you need help as well.
You all do classes when you buy in the store?
Yeah, so we're here to help you with these machines. So if you purchase it from us, you get a free instruction from the store where you purchase it from. And even before you purchase it, you can come in and test drive any of the machines, take as much time as you want to really get the machine that you actually want. That's why we're here.
Ask the questions that you have. You can always call our 1-800 number. You can always call the store. We have so many different outlets. That way you're not home by yourself feeling lost, feeling that you can't do that you don't understand it. It's overwhelming. There's so many different kinds of machines, and there's so many different things you can do. You have that outlet. That's what's great about All Brands. We're actual physical people. We're a family-owned business. You get to talk to the family.
We want you to feel like family.
Oh, yes. Whether you like it or not. We just pull your wife in. She'll hug her help.
But yeah, really utilize this service that we're putting out there, that we have these machines on display that you could touch, feel, so on, and people there that own and use those machines.
And that's how we started. Was her mom, Miss Annette, she was a teacher. She wanted to share her craft, and we love this, and we still instill that into our employees and all of us, that we're here to teach. We're here to show you. We always say we're not a buying agent for the vendor, or a selling agent for the vendor. We're a buying agent for our customer.
Yeah. We pick out the best stuff for you guys.
We get to play with it too, so it's a lot of fun.
So, we have to pick out a third one.
What is your third?
Okay.
I think it's give back.
Giving is important. Okay. But I think utilizing the warranties that are available through some of these manufacturers is very important. Like, I know Brother has an amazing warranty on their embroidery machines, and take advantage of that. I know a lot of our store managers will actually call the customers before their warranty goes out. Please don't send this to Brother. But yeah, I think it's important to buy a machine from a dealer where you can get service and a warranty service specifically on that machine.
Please get your machines maintenance. I don't know how many times our techs tell us, they're like, I opened it up and a bunny flew at me. It was that much fluff in that machine. Get them service.
Like, there's a lot that goes into an embroidery design. You have the top thread going through a tension, and the thread is, whatever material it is, whether it's polyester, or even some people embroider with cotton these days. Like, it has, depending on the brand of thread, there's just so many things that can happen, when the needle is going in and out of this fabric, 1,100 stitches per minute. And then, on different types of materials, and then there's some bobbin involved, and then you have to oil the hook. And
I don't trust myself to go in there. We're going to get a trained professional. We're not going to get me on there. That's how you void your warranty.
But you want to get the machine that I heard a service tech say at one point. He said, well, that other brand, but this brand, you could throw it down the hallway and thread it incorrectly. That still makes a stitch.
I love it. I love
You
it.
can cut that part out.
And if it breaks, you'll fix it, right?
No, it will still make the stitch. Like, some of them are so well manufactured, you could do things wrong.
My machine, so I have the 10 needle, and I at the beginning, I can't tell you how many times I broke a needle on a fast frame just because I didn't
trace your design.
trace my design. And it, you just change the needle and it stitches right. Well, it's perfect,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I feel like if it wasn't built well, that would throw everything off and you needed
Yeah.
to take it in and
I
fix it.
think there's definitely something to say for Japanese engineering. I mean, you could see it in all types of different products that are made. And I do believe that Brother makes a very fine embroidery machine and cutting and crafting machine. So who knows what they're going to come out with next?
I wish they would tell us.
I know. I thought of another one.
Yeah. What you got?
Are we like limited to only
Nope.
3?
Nope.
I think finding a dealer that you can trust
Mhm.
is very important, that is going to be around for a long time, that has a reputable name in the business. I think that that's really important to feel secure in that.
It's an expensive purchase. So you want to make sure you're going to someone that's going to have your back. So when something does happen to your machine, or heaven forbid, something does happen to your machine, or again, you have a ton of questions, you have someone to go to, which is great about the mom and pop stores like us, because you're going to talk to mom and pop. You're going to talk to the daughter and the son and the daughter-in-law.
And we aren't going anywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we already have the third generation on the line.
John the third.
John and Alex
Oh,
are
yeah.
going to be the third generation.
Oh, yeah.
All right. How old are they and when are they coming to work, or do they already come?
Well, they've already started. My mother-in-law, she was watching Little John for us whenever I went back to work and he hadn't started daycare yet. And she was watching him and he was crying in the background. And my father-in-law was on the phone because he still loves talking to customers. He'll talk your ear off. He's a walking encyclopedia of knowledge. And the customer, she was upset about machine. He was walking her through it. And as soon as she heard that baby cry, she was like, "Is there a baby at your house?" And he was like, "Yes, we watched my grandson." She was like, "Oh, what?" And then they talked and she ended up upgrading her machine. So he always teases and says that Little John sold his first machine out only a couple of months old.
I love it. Hey, those babies bring
You bring
smiles.
your I've seen your children at Everything Embroidery. They're beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Yes, no, I have 5. 3 of them are in school, and then 2 come with me to the warehouse at Love That Cotton when the other ones are in school. So actually, my mama, so it's family business too. My mom's watching the 2 little ones right now while we're chatting, and then the older ones help at sometimes. I mean, you saw the little giveaway fairy that we had at the last show. And so my oldest daughter, she's 9, she had a little basket and she was just handing out little goodies to our attendees because it's fun and everyone likes to receive a gift. And I can tell you, she takes pride in that. She came home and she told everyone, "I work at Everything Embroidery Market. I work at Love That Cotton." And I think that's part of having a family business. You have that pride, you have the work ethic, and it's a fun thing. So she hasn't sold much clothes yet, but maybe I need
What are you talking about? She's
You
a
ever
model.
in the little fashion shows or anything like that? My mom used to, when Heirloom was really popular, I would be in a fashion show
They look
With,
like little
with
pilgrims.
the pilgrim outfits walking down the runway.
I love those pictures so
And
much.
since we were twins, we had matching
matching
outfits. It was
Yes.
so cute.
So
It
I
is
hope
very
had a point. I do have her. I guess all of my kids are models on our website. So we do our photo shoots of our
Yeah.
clothing before we post them for sale. And so they are on there.
Question.
Yes, we have thought about it, but we don't.
Yeah.
No.
So Alvarez is actually one of the last importers of smocking machines in the United States.
Wow.
Wild.
My mom and I both have smocking machines.
Such a beautiful, beautiful art. I think it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
So
and
maybe-
honestly, down South, they really love that. And it's a huge thing for holidays and just every day to have your child wearing a smocked outfit and big giant bows.
Yeah, I'm sure
It's a Southern way.
I didn't like it when I was little, but I like it now.
Very cute.
I was so cute and I hated that.
I'm so mad in the photos.
I was like, everybody's giving me attention.
So I love that. Maybe we'll have to chat again about some smocking stuff because I think that would be a fun little. We can do a whole little deal about it. Do you guys?
Yeah.
Do y'all do a lot of that? So you have the machines. Do you do classes or anything for that?
We sell the instructional DVDs with it, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward, the smocking. So we haven't had a demand for it, but I mean,
But demand it so we can do it.
yeah, you better start demanding.
Well, so we do love that. Cotton does have a lot of I don't know that a lot, but there's a decent amount of our customers that do that. And so
Mhm.
maybe if we could organize something,
Yeah.
I could get a little smocking group together. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we have a smocking guild that comes to the store a lot because we sell the DMC and the pleater machines, and we're starting to see like a shift in the pleater machines. But Martha Pullen had her own pleater machine for a long time, and she's finally getting back in the business. So I know she sold her company, and now she's ready to start doing tutorial videos. So I don't know if you guys ever watched Sewing with Martha, but she is a pioneer for heirloom sewing, and I think that she's going to be coming back very
Yay.
soon. Yeah.
See that you can never go once you start. You can't. You might take a little hiatus, but it's in your blood.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. She owned So Beautiful magazine, and she had the sewing show on LPB public broadcasting for how many years? The longest time.
Yeah.
So I'm just so excited that she's going to be back, and hopefully she reinvigorates.
I have seen both of the magazine and the show. Both my mother and grandmother are very into sewing, and
Okay.
yeah,
My
so
brother
Beautiful
is
has been in my
actually-
house for years.
So we're inviting her to Houston Quilt Festival next year, because now she doesn't have a non-compete anymore since selling her brand, and she's working with our family is helping her actually get her studio up and running to start doing videos. So maybe we should invite her on the show.
Yeah, I think that would be really
She knows.
awesome. Let's chat.
Yeah,
we
we got ideas now.
I like the ideas. Keep them
Yeah.
coming. I guess we can wrap up. I really appreciate you guys taking some time. It's really fun to get to know y'all a little bit better. I love that you guys have been with Everything Embroidery Market for quite some time. I know there's a whole bunch of people that come to the shows just to visit your booth, to see your face, to touch those machines like we talked about. You guys are something that has grown the show, and I appreciate that as well. If our listeners here, if you guys are ready or even thinking about being ready to jump into a Brother Scan and Cut, please do visit their website, allbrands.com. They not only have that machine, like they said, they've got embroidery machines, all kinds of anything in the craft that you can think of, it's there. And these are the people behind it. And you always want to support someone that you enjoy and trust. And these are those people. So please do jump over there. If you guys get a minute, follow us here at follow us here at Sellers and Makers Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. We have lots coming your way. If you want to join us in an in-person show at Everything Embroidery Market, we have one coming up in Chattanooga the last weekend in April this coming year. So,
And I gotta say,
Tell
if
me.
I can,
yeah,
you're there too, Courtney.
Yes.
The show was such a refreshing pleasure to be at,
Yeah.
to see all of the folks that were chiming in virtually for the first time. I got hugs. It was amazing. It was just so great. We have an amazing community. So I just thank you guys for facilitating that. And it was a fantastic show. We had a great time. And Courtney taught a class.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we had a
great.
fun time. We went a little over. I'm sorry, but we
That's
can't
okay.
stop a good time.
No one complained. They were all happy. I love No, and that's actually one of my very favorite things about the show is getting to see those people that you build the relationship online or through those orders, and then you actually get to see their face, and that connection is just deepened, and I love that. So
When we had 2 watchers for the All Brand show that wanted to take pictures with me that are regular watchers, and they comment all the time, and they exchanged phone numbers, and now they're friends. And I just felt so special to have formed that friendship.
I love that. I love it so much. So if you're considering that too, please join us at one of our upcoming in-person shows, and then also our community at EEM Connect. It's online. You can join through our website, everythingembroiderymarket.com. We have lots of fun things coming, and we appreciate you guys for taking some time to listen and chat with us today.